Today on CCX News, a police officer shortage. We take a closer look at the issue and hear what one city is doing about it. A police shortage in Brooklyn Park now has the department looking to see if they can bolster their force by luring away officers from other cities. Anyone who makes the switch will not only earn competitive wages, but a hefty signing bonus as well.
Logan, please raise your right hand.
Back in February, the Brooklyn Park Police Department held a swearing-in ceremony to welcome 5 new officers to the force. It was certainly a joyous occasion, but even with these new recruits, the department's overall staffing numbers are less than ideal.
We're in a tough situation.
Inspector Elliot Faust says their workforce is down 20% of where it should be.
We lost 3 officers last week. We are just shy of 90, and we're authorized for 109.
To help fill that gap, they're making a push to hire officers from other departments, also known as lateral officers.
Especially folks that maybe already come from a Hennepin County agency. They're familiar with the radio system. They're familiar with the jail procedures, booking procedures, paperwork, maybe geography. I mean, all those things are one less piece of the learning puzzle that we have to put together when we take them on.
Lateral officers who come to Brooklyn Park receive a $5,000 signing bonus, wages between $42 to $50 an hour, and a slew of benefits.
This is a great place to work. The pay is very good. The job is challenging. It's fulfilling. We have great technology. We have dedication to training. I mean, I don't know what more you would be looking for in an organization.
It's an important message to send if they want to bolster their ranks, because they're not the only department offering incentives.
It does seem like everybody is kind of stealing from each other when it comes from staff, lateral officer staffing wise. And that is a little bit of the nature of the beast. We have lost some officers to other organizations for a variety of reasons.
Meanwhile, Faust says the department will likely put around 20 cadets through their field training process this year, which should help shore up some of the staffing issues. A Brooklyn Park lawmaker is asking the state to do more for young people in cannabis legislation. Senator Susan Pah of Brooklyn Park has introduced several youth cannabis bills at the Capitol this year. One bill would add youth seats to the state's Cannabis Advisory Board. Another would use tax revenue from cannabis sales for youth education. Pah says a peer-based education system could help teach kids about the effects of cannabis.
Youth are talking among themselves, but how do we give them the information so that when they are talking about it, they're educated about the impacts of cannabis on young people's brains, their developing brains, and also what are the consequences should they be using this.
Pah hopes these bills can be added to larger omnibus cannabis bills this year at the Capitol. The city of Brooklyn Park is considering making changes to who can speak during open forum at regular council meetings. The city currently allows public comment on any issues before it takes action on agenda items. That would still continue. What would change, however, is who can speak during public comment. The city is considering a policy to restrict its open forum to residents and city business owners and employees.
I think many times our city gets pulled in or gets used for other agendas, political, whatnot, for folks that don't have anything to do with our city, right? And I think that's one of the main concerns that we've been talking about is we just really want to do the business of the city versus, sometimes what we've seen.
Mayor Winston also expressed concerns about meeting efficiency. The proposed change would not prevent anyone from speaking to a specific agenda item. The change is expected to come back for a final vote at the next council meeting. Plymouth has a new organization devoted to bringing tourists and visitors to the city. The Plymouth Destination Marketing Organization drives future visitors to the city's hotels and restaurants. It also promotes events like hockey tournaments and concerts at the Hildy Amphitheater. The city is starting a new advisory board for the marketing organization. The City Council will appoint experts from hospitality businesses to serve on the board. The city is currently accepting applications. They say more tourists could mean more places to eat.
What that can lead to is bringing in more restaurants. So a lot of residents want to see more restaurants in the city of Plymouth. They want to see more things to do. And so, if we bring more people in and there's more demand, then that can just increase more restaurant owners wanting to develop here.
Advisory board applications are due by Wednesday, May 1st. For most of us in Minnesota, Monday's cloudy skies weren't the best conditions to view the solar eclipse. Those in sunny spaces fared better, including those who traveled to see it. A number of families traversed from our region to the path of totality, including John Two Austins. As Emily Haugen reports, his family had to adjust on the fly.
The distance, the travel, and the fact that, we actually had to take the kids out of school. They're supposed to be in school right now. It's a Tuesday right now, but here we are driving through the wilds of Oklahoma.
John Two Austin's family opted for a different learning experience this week in a 14-hour road trip to Dallas.
Managed to hit up Buc-ee's. It's world famous, so I had to see what all the hype was about. It lives up to it. Definitely would recommend it.
Besides all the sightseeing, the Austins traveled to Totality in the path of the solar eclipse. Their trip rerouted when skies in Dallas were looking cloudy.
It was cutting right through the middle of the country, so it was like, I think kind of have to go at this point.
So they traveled 4 more hours to Little Rock, Arkansas.
It is 1:53 in the afternoon.
And everyone is there for the same reason. Obviously, a lot of schools had taken off. And so it's just that general sense that we're all experiencing something together.
Austin says the colors changed right before their eyes.
And then things start to change. Like lighting is just off. It's just different.
To almost a sepia tone.
The only word I can say is like those old-timey photographs.
His daughter Aria said it was cool to see the moon blocking the sun.
I think it was great because we're all on the same page.
And for their entire family, it created a once-in-a-lifetime memory.
But to experience the actual, the big show, this phenomenal celestial event.
Emily Haugen, CCX News.
It will be a long time before we see another eclipse in the United States. The next one is expected to be visible in the year 2044.